studying part-time, often in difficult circumstances. And I always say that in the 7 years that I've been master, I think the thing that has most surprised me and impressed me is how relatively small amounts of money can make a substantial difference. Either money that comes up front to students who are beginning their studies, or money that comes when difficulties occur, for example, a relative can't provide childcare or whatever it may be. The sorts of challenges that full-time students don't necessarily face at the age of 18 to 21. And we've had a lot of talk recently in the press about full-time student support. We've heard, for example, that there haven't been the expected increases in the amounts that people can claim in maintenance grants. We've heard about loans to full-time students. But of course, we need to contrast the support that's available for full-time students with the support or lack of it that's available for part-time students. Any student studying full-time, even if their parents are the richest people in the world, can obtain a full loan for all their fees from the government. And that loan is increased every year, including this year, in line with the fee increases. A very large proportion of those students can obtain maintenance grants. Something around a third of full-time students get a full maintenance grant. Another third of students get a partial maintenance grant. So nearly 70% of full-time students are getting means-tested support for maintenance. All full-time students are getting loans. Contrast that with the part-time sector. There are no loans available for part-time students, as many people in this room know only too well. There is support for your fees, but only partial support. You can't get full fee support for the level of fees that are usually charged. And equally, less than around 25% of students qualify for those means-tested support, because the thresholds are very low. You have to earn around less than £16,000 a year to get a full grant. So that support is entirely inadequate, and we need to make the case continually for improvement of part-time support, and we need to thank our donors who have generously allowed us to be able to top up any government support by providing additional support to those students. So that is so important to us. It makes the difference, we know, between people starting to study and not starting, between people continuing and not continuing. So while we continually lobby government for improved support for part-time students, to recognise that those students are combining it with a job, are trying to do something which benefits the economy, and so on. All the time we are grateful to our donors. And that is even more important now, given the current economic situation, where many of our students will have difficulties. They may lose their jobs, they may have a downsizing of work, where they need those qualifications even more in order to keep their jobs or to move into a new field, but they have more difficulties with finance. We've heard a lot in the press about a surge in full-time applicants. Lots of people apparently are making the decision that actually they should study at university full-time rather than trying to get a job in this climate. Government is very worried about it. We know that ministers are having weekly meetings. How are they going to deal with this fallout if in August and September news comes out that 20,000 qualified people have failed to get into university? There's a serious problem there. But actually, those students would do far better to study part-time, because then they could continue to look for work during the day. And when they do get a job, they won't face the do I give up university or do I take that job, because they will be able to combine it. So one of the things we are talking to government about is how many of those people can actually be steered into part-time rather than full-time study. Government loves that because the part-time support is so poor that it doesn't cost the government anything to support them compared to if they study full-time. We need to lobby government to try and steer people who go into clearing with the idea that they would do better to study part-time. Also to improve support from government, but also to continue support from our donors, which is so important to us. And above all today is about saying thank you to our donors, celebrating the achievements of our students who have struggled forward under difficult financial circumstances and have the opportunity today to meet some of those who are supporting students and to talk about how we've benefited from them. That's all I want to say. It's a big thank you, and I want to hand over now to Tricia King, who is our Director of External Relations, and also a key figure in our new Student Experience project, which you will see demolition going on in regard to if you enter the front entrance of Birkbeck, which is one of the reasons why we're having this reception here.